Jókòó.
Yeah, they're super for you.
Má ṣe pé ó bọ̀ yẹn máa mo ṣe kì í fún ẹ̀ ìyá
Yeah. Studio live.
ìyá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní kí ni.
Okay, my people, how you na dey wherever you are, whether you are at work or whether you are at your businesses, how are you? I know say e don tey wey we talk for this entertainment gist, and we get many gist for una today, so hope una don ready and you are ready to also gbe body, because together we are going to enjoy ourselves today. And in case you are just joining in this, Ajoya Unique 93.5 FM, that radio station that gives the best programs ever. And you know what? We get many things for you now today. And you know me now, I still remain at the Gunte Mitope Dati, the king of creativity. So, the great, hope you are ready.
David, good afternoon, wherever you first on my voice. Yeah, whatever the first of my voice, my name is Adegoke Ajiboye. Thank you so much for joining us again. This is Ajandro FM, and we are here today to give you updates of what's trending in Nigeria on sports, on entertainment, and also on politics and everything in between. So we don't stand that gidigba, don't do studio. That's the day here, the grace day here, and we have a lot to give to you today. Yeah.
We can talk to you.
First story.
Yeah, Education Minister seek to dialogue to end FCT teacher strike.
Come here.
Education Minister seek to dialogue to end FCT.
News, Abby.
Yes, no. He's got to talk to you. I see you.
Gbẹ́mi débẹ̀ láti. Gbẹ́mi débẹ̀.
Ta ló tún jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú bíbá?
Love in Tokyo. Kí ni ẹ sì?
Ẹ̀yin tẹ̀lé wa jáde ní ìsìn ẹ̀ 18 minutes lẹ́yìn tí ìrìn ní ìsìn káàrí.
Nísìnyí.
Tí kò jẹ́ ní ìsìn ẹ̀rẹ́ kàlẹ́ ṣe lé wa jáde.
Nísìnyí àti kàtẹ́pẹ́.
Okay, I should have discussion. You want to join?
Ìjọ náà. Ó náà pé ó yẹ kó ọ̀gá pẹ́lẹ́ ògbé yìí. Ọ̀dọ́ ta ni ọ̀rọ̀?
Ta ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀?
Ọ̀dọ́ ọ̀gá máa ń sọ lọ́jọ́ àwọn èdè kù síbẹ̀. Wọ́n àti ìgbà lọ́wọ́.
Ọ̀gá máa ń gbé káwà bọ́sítà.
Láìpẹ́ nílé kan ni ó ṣe.
Ó yá ọ̀nà àdúgbò ẹ̀.
Ó ṣe ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọdún bẹ̀rẹ̀ mic.
Ó ń bẹ̀rù Mike. Ẹ sọ̀tọ̀.
Ẹni ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ mic.
How? Are you serious?
Ó lò ní phobia for mic.
Let's go.
All right. First story that we having today. we get a lot of story to gist it today. And today we'll be having these 4 stories directly from Abuja, from FCT workers protest unpaid salary, hazard allowance, pickets Wike's office. That's last week. Very Dark Man went to Wike's gate to protest because for the past 90 days, teachers in FCT have not been in school. And news is not. The one thing about even get worried about is news is not carrying it. People are not talking about it. How will the OFCT in Abuja will be on shutdown? Schools be on shutdown for the past 90 days, and nobody's talking about it. What is the function of NLC, Nigeria Labour Congress, NUT, Nigeria Union of Teacher, and every other bodies that involved of this thing? Until Very Dark Man went on protest in front of FCT. That's where this news is.
That's when they now knew that they had to do something about it.
Now they are just saying they want to dialogue, they want to talk about it, hazard allowance, all the money. And the problem is that they refuse to pay the 70,000 minimum wage that has been allocated that they should pay. And that's where this
FCTO,
yes, if we replace
the capital of Nigeria is facing this kind of thing,
then what can they say about other states?
What can we now say about other states
that refuse to pay such a thing? That's the question you ask me. Now, this information says member of the Union of Joint Action Committee on Monday gathered at the FCT Minister's Gates. That's after 90 days. All this while before 90 days, our students have been our home and every other thing. They didn't protest until Very Dark Man come to protest. Now, FCT Minister Gates to protest non-payment of salaries to staff. The prolonged FCT primary school teachers strike and the payment of wage award to health workers. Not only teachers, health workers also involved. The workers are also demanding the sack of the chairman of the FCT Civil Service Commission, Emeka Nze. Our correspondent previously reported that the president of the committee, Rifkatu Loyatia, had issued a statement on Thursday mobilizing affiliate unions to join a 3-day protest from Monday, the 30th of June until the 2nd of July 2025 against the blatant refusal of the FCT minister to address the silent issue affecting staff. The workers say the premises of the minister's office preventing workers from gaining, entering, or exit. That's
So another thing is that the Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alausa, has acknowledged the concern raised by the Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, FCT wings. Although thank God that we have people like Very Dark Man, because with that Very Dark Man now, we won't even know that this thing is happening in Abuja.
It has been happening for 90 days now.
For 90 days.
That students have been at home, sitting down at home, not going to school.
And what I saw pertaining the protest that Very Dark Man carried out, I saw him with some students.
Yes, he gathered
students at the FCT minister's gate. They sat down, he was teaching them ABC and all the other things. And that's one gathered enough of virality, and people started talking about it. Thank God we have someone like that.
That's what makes people start talking about it. You can imagine press and people are not even carrying it because it's in FCT Abuja. If just something like that can happen in Federal Capital Territory in Nigeria, then what can happen in other states have no say. Because that's where we think they say charity begins at home. If they say 70,000 naira should be paid and they refuse to pay them that kind of money, if other states refuse to pay it, what excuse with a place like FCT and to now say not only FCT workers, also health workers, hazard areas not paid, our auxiliary staff, enforcement squad, those people that are the mortuary, those people at the cemetery, their monies are not being paid. The letter for the stoppage of their salary was issued on the 10th of March by the commission's chairman. Is he supposed to give us those kind of directives?
So
do you understand? Now, when you don't pay health workers aside, those who are in charge of all those aside parts, mortuary and other places, you refuse to pay their salary, given the directive since March till now. And why is that? Until we start protesting in Nigeria, that's the only language that we understand in Nigeria. And sometimes I just don't understand.
That's the only language that Nigerian politicians understand, because if we don't protest, they like the Ashake song that we always listen to, what it gave me lately.
They don't hear anything.
They don't hear shit.
Primary schools are on strike with local government workers over 100 days. Our children are on the streets, and you say they have given the local government bailout fund. The bailout fund you gave them, are they not accountable for to you? As a governor, it was the one controlling the local government in Rivers State. The person that they will drag for this matter is Nyesom Wike, because he's the chairman of
he's the minister.
He's the minister of FCT.
In fact, he's the governor of FCT.
He rather spend time building
roads.
And buildings, and innovating buildings.
It's just
And
one,
1
all
billion.
this, all this periphery now.
Yes, now that's what. So
you
I
love-
can name the president because you can name you name the thing, the building, the president. You know how many roads and buildings has named the president. That is what he wants to do, and that is what he's doing. So many building, ICC building, he confined to President Tinubu's building. They renovate buildings 34 billion naira.
The thing is, this one now, we are talking about salaries of teachers, right?
Yes.
But the ones that he is focused on is the road and something. These ones are being seen.
The one that comes.
He wants the one that people can see and start praising
Say
him
you are
for.
working.
Not the one that the money to go to
Once
the
they give the
personal
teacher,
money.
nobody's going to know
Nobody's
it.
going to know it. That's
But
what
once
he's
he build the
focusing
building,
on.
people can easily
Building and tell him
he's
that he's
working.
working and something like that.
No,
And
2027
this
is
is
coming.
not
They
what
have to campaign with something.
if you are governor, if you are president, or if you are local government channel, you shouldn't just focus on a particular sector without focusing on other sectors.
And it's happening everywhere. Even it's happening in Ogun State, right?
It's happening in Ogun State. We don't even know, is there any sector that...
Well, they focus on the sector.
Which sector is that?
They are building airport.
Which help? Come on.
They are building airport and they are doing roads.
Which-
At least they are doing your Pakoto road now.
The road that they've started building and the road that they built already within 2 months or
It's
within 2
already
weeks
spoiled.
is already...
You know, we're clamoring about
We are
that
already
already
seeing
that
potholes in the roads and you are
they're
telling me
building
it's
road
road.
without
Come
potholes.
on,
They are building road without
we need to do better in that way.
There
There is no...
every other thing there.
We need to do better in this country because
Just-
this country is becoming, you are building road that is not even
We all know
solid.
it's a campaign
It's not
road.
solid for bike to pass in.
I'm telling
And
you.
we have trailers that are passing through
telling
this
you,
road.
it's a
Come
federal
on,
road, for
federal
God's
road
sake.
for God's sake. You
You
are
need a
building
federal road
road.
that
Passing.
there's no-
Is
there-
me, I
there
don't
is
call
no
that.
drainage.
Me, I'm not calling that building
That
of
is
road. I'm
patching.
calling it passing of roads.
Patching a road that's already spoiled. Don't pass one that's already spoiled. This one is.
This is what I'm
it's
calling
spoiled
it.
beyond patching.
This is what
This will
me
be a
I'm
new
calling
construction
it.
of the road.
That is what they are doing. They are patching it. They are not building it because if they are building it, they
do
build.
drainage.
They let's say that they are building. Let's assume that they are building.
it.
They build just 1 kilometer of a road, though. Out of the whole kilometer that we have, they just built 1 kilometer, and that 1 kilometer they built within 1 month is already having potholes. What kind of road is that?
When they build a road that is no, they build a one, they build in the rainy season. Let's assume, but they don't have that kind
And
of.
moreover,
they don't
why
have-
will you be building road inside?
They
Come
didn't even
on.
have the facilities to build it. Look, Julius Berger will build in rainy season, and you will like what they build.
Seriously, I don't know the people that the contractor they are
Do
contracting
you see
for
any?
this
Do you
thing.
see any name there? You will not. Do you see any name that?
And they should give, these people are ready to build this road.
Yeah.
These people, they are ready to, but because of their ojukoko and everything, they will not allow
This
them
is
to
a
build it.
political agenda.
That Lafarge is ready to build that road.
And they will not let them build.
They
it.
will not allow them because they
who
think
will
that
take the
they will
contract?
not. They will no. They think that if they don't, if they allow them to build it, they will also say that they want to. They want some part of their taxes to be reduced and something like that, and they don't want that because that's the money they are
And that's
expecting
why
or
they
something
left the road like that.
That's why they left the road like that.
Can you patch a road as bad from as bad as Ilaro? They road as bad from Ilepa.
You know the stress that we are passing to people like me that I'm always going to
Passing that
Remo,
road
passing
every
to going to Remo. I will travel from here, travel to Abeokuta.
Of course.
From Abeokuta, I will travel to Shagamu. From Shagamu to Remo. That's the problem I'm facing. No, I didn't be from Papaya to Shagamu straight. A very short way. But the road is very.
That road that
God.
leads from
God.
Ilepa to Lagos for the expressway. That one is a condemned road already. For how long? That's where anybody that's going to Ibadan now, instead of to pass that place, they have to go and pass Abeokuta because that one is condemned. If those who are going to Shagamu, they have to go and pass Abeokuta because that place is a condemned road, and that's how bad it is. They condemn the road, and instead of them to rebuild a new one, they patch it. And when they patch it, they will not even do drainage. They just add one spot for patching, and within 2 months, you have to call them back to come and rebuild it. If they do it very well, how will you call them back to come and rebuild it?
We need to do better in this country. We
That's
need
what
to
we
do
find- that's what we
better
find
because
ourselves.
I don't understand.
Even the ones
These
who think
people
they
are
are
seeing
doing-
they're actually, some of them that they don't have the luxury of, transporting themselves with
with their-
helicopter or something like that. Like the governor can transport himself. Let's assume, let's leave the governor out of it. The governor can, like Dakwa Abiodun is always transporting himself with helicopter.
Because you know the kind of road
You
they
know
have
the
in
kind
Ogun
of road.
State.
So, but some of them that don't have that luxury to transport themselves with helicopter, they pass through this bad road too, and they are not even voicing out to say that this is what is happening in our constituency and this is what is happening in our locality or
Don't you
something.
have senators, House of Rep, honorables? Don't you have chairman? Don't they have chairman? Don't they pass the road? We all know that the chairman's from Agbado, so he definitely pass through here every now and then. It's going home. So what are we talking about? They saw this road. They spent time on this road as well.
Well, according to some people here, they say that this chairman is trying anyway, but that's
until start sending the work, the physical work.
He doesn't have to say about the federal road.
But he doesn't have to say, but it can clamor for it.
It can clamor for it anyway.
If you keep mentioning to the government every time that my people are suffering on this road.
My people are suffering for it. The road that they are building is not actual construction. That is construction. It's not construction. It's construction. Because I don't understand. That one is not construction. It's construction.
Oh God. And now we're not even talking about the road they are building. We're talking about the education in Nigeria now. And we are taking our FCT strike as a practical
we are
example.
just using FCT as sample to a lot of things that is happening in the education sector of Nigeria. Because the education sector of Nigeria is nothing to write home about. If you look at, let's take for example our place here where we are here, this particular local government. If you look at the public schools that we have here, if you look at their building, if you look at how students are sitting on the ground to receive lectures, if you look at how tattered some students, if you look at the company, if a
student go to class,
if rain is falling, it's always on these children.
Because the whole
building is something else. If you look at all this, you will now be wondering, are we actually in a country or we are in a village called Nigeria?
We are in a country. There was once a country, that's what I used to say.
There was once a country.
Because all these buildings,
I think there's a novel like that. They should go and
what kills us is maintenance. They will build something that they will not maintain.
And that's what is affecting our major roads too.
The only problem, the problem we have is the fact that they don't have their children.
Once you build, this maintenance thing. Once you build a road, as a government, you ought to pay some people.
Allocate some funds.
And those people will be checking the road every year to be seeing whether there are potholes in the road that you built or not.
That's just the best thing. That's the best thing to do.
But
because honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, once they build the road, they will just forget about the road. There will be pothole, and that pothole, if rain is falling on inside the pothole, it will continue to become damaging the entire road. Small. Little by little, you will just notice that everything.
They say a stitch in time save life, but this one not be so. Once it's break, they will not find a way to patch it. They will wait until the thing begins to spoil, and that will be it. They will not come to it.
I just hope that we are going to do better because in our educational sector, in particular, we need to do better.
We need to say education is the bedrock of the nation's building, but not anymore.
But not anymore. In our education, because it's becoming so unfair.
One thing I think is this.
There are a lot of things in the education sector. Sorry to cut you short. There are a lot of things in the education sector that is not working.
One.
Apart from the one that we've mentioned, that the classroom of this, especially the basic schools, that's nursery and primary school, and the secondary school too. The classroom, the dilapidated buildings and every other thing. Look at the higher institution. Although the higher institution, they are still doing better because their buildings are still okay because they want to.
They know how much they are making from them.
I know how much they are making from
higher
some of them are still okay. Not every one of them are okay anyway, but large number of them are still okay. But these people too, after they finish all the struggles from primary school to higher institution, they will come out, and after coming out, nothing to show for it again.
You don't go far now.
Nothing to show for it again.
Me, I even thought you talk about the teachers. There's not enough teachers in those schools too. I could see teachers clamoring and explaining that there are not enough teachers in primary school, secondary school.
So that's why I'm saying there are a lot of
people
things.
Are graduating from school. There are not many graduates
every year
from
at least
from NCE.
Every year.
Yeah, every
year at least 500,000 people are graduating. At least that's the minimum.
Let's talk about College of Education. Let's assume part of that are from engineering, science. Let's talk about education aspect now. Those who are finishing from College of Education, at least 200,000 graduating from College of Education we have in Nigeria every day. There is no reason why we don't have enough teachers in school. There is no reason why, honestly. Because if you ask, I don't know who to ask. We have so many young youth that are finished from College of Education that don't even have any means of making money. And they find it there. Employ teachers, they say no. then what are we talking about?
Hmm.
And that's a very big concern, actually.
Hmm.
And that's what that's one of the examples that we are seeing now. FCT minister not be able to pay salary, not being able to pay their great salary in FCT, and for the past 100 days now, and students have been at home, and nobody is talking about.
Nobody is talking
in a
about
place
it
like
until
FCT,
very dark man
FCT,
went
very
there to
bad.
protect. Oh God.
In front of the president himself. This is what it is, brother.
It is what it is. Let's maybe go to the next story that we have here. The next story that we have here is Tinubu's meeting with Saint Lucia PM in brief. Saint Lucia PM in brief. So yeah, in a landmark meeting, President Bola Tinubu and Saint Lucia Prime Minister Philip J. Perry agreed to establish formal diplomatic relations, paving the way to enhance cooperation in trade, culture, and education. My problem is, after this meeting now, we won't even see any outcome from this meeting.
You know how many meetings they don't meet every time. All they do
We will say that the president is meeting this, the president is meeting that, but after the meeting, what is the outcome? We didn't see anything. That's my problem with the leaders of Nigeria.
In fact, Tinubu highlighted a common history, cultural bond, and resilience uniting Nigeria and Saint Lucia, describing Saint Lucians as cherished friends. And please, let me say me ask, but I don't want you to ask us. You'll be asking me. That's what I'll be asking you now. Where is Saint Lucia? Which country is that?
This is the first time I'm even hearing
because
that.
I don't be like I say maybe I know they understand. That's why they ask you now. Which country is Saint Lucia? Is it an African country?
I'm telling you, this is the first time I'm hearing that name.
Both leader, because according to said the common cultural bond and resilience uniting Nigeria and Saint Lucia, describing Saint Lucians as cherished friends and brothers. Well, I think we have to search this Saint Lucia, because I will need to know where Saint Lucia is. That's another place to get the knowledge. Because Saint Lucia is like I've never known the country before. Maybe it's one of those new countries that just
I'm telling you that this is the first time I'm hearing something like that. I've not.
But in also,
that
Tinubu and Saint Lucia have things in common now. One of the key takeaways from the relationship is commitment to formal diplomatic relations. Both leaders pledged to formalize diplomatic ties, aiming to strengthen bilateral engagements in various sectors. The shared historical and cultural bond, President Tinubu highlighted an enduring connection shaped by a shared past and collective resilience, emphasizing the historical and cultural ties between African and the Caribbean people. Areas for enhanced cooperation. The leaders identify key factors for collaboration, including trade, investment, tourism, education, health, agriculture, and cultural exchange. Well, whatever it is, we just.
Well, my problem is, after all this meeting now, we won't see any impact of this country that he went to go and meet in this country.
That's the problem.
What's the benefit of you traveling to? Although they are Peter Obi talked about the recent travel to Saint Lucia, and he was saying that at this time that we are in this country, that we are facing a lot of insecurity, a lot of issues in this country, that the president is not meant to travel to any place for vacation. And now the media personality or the media person of Tinubu came online and said that it's not for vacation, it's for this same thing that we just read now.
Okay, President Tinubu visiting Saint Lucia. It's easier for our president to run around in the country with his ministers than to run around and check what's going on in parts of the country than run around in the country and see what Nigerians is going through. And that's what Peter Obi is clamoring. See, we don't say president should not go around and do bilateral relationship and agreements. What we are talking about is president should come down to the people and come and see what the people are going through. There's nothing bad in if the president have a committee that is going around Nigeria and seeing what Nigeria is going through. Because it's done everywhere. Where you have people, we have the office of the president in every city, every state, where people can just go to and make their complaint known. Even if you want to be an office in local government department, where the office of the president will be there, and people can go there and clamor their own problem.
Okay, for people like us that doesn't know where Saint Lucia is is an island country of the West Indies in the Eastern Caribbean. It is located to the south of Martinique and to the north of Saint Vincent and I don't know. But they just say that it's a country of the West Indies. In the Eastern Caribbean.
Asian country. Asia country. I wonder the Caribbean.
This is the first time I'm hearing that country, seriously.
I think I know that one too, but I don't know this one. And this one.
But anyhow, shall we just hope that this meeting is going to birth something good in this country. We just hope, although we are not expecting much anyway.
Let me take this one. I don't know if it's a news or it's just over 870,000 people die annually from loneliness. World Health Organization said this.
From what?
From loneliness.
Like me now, I'm lonely.
Anytime I talk about loneliness, where do you put yourself for that picture?
I'm lonely. Yeah, I'm lonely.
Lonely.
Are you not lonely? Are you not lonely
I
too?
am not.
You are
I
not.
have Christ with me.
Oh, everybody have Christ. What are you saying? Everybody have Christ. Are you not lonely
What
too?
organization don't talk? I'm saying over 800. See, they said loneliness kills faster than hate. Have you heard that word? Because when you are lonely, a lot of things come into your mind.
Yes, that's a lot of things are coming to my mind. I think a lot, especially during the last week period. I was just.
You're supposed to be lonely last week period. Last week supposed to be your month of loneliness.
Yes,
because it's supposed to be your book and yourself.
I was reading and
I was supposed to be married to your book.
Lonely,
you know, I'm about to say welcome back from your 1 week vacation. 1 week vacation. Know why you are looking fresh. Everybody have been asking where is that? Now you don't do this thing. And now you come back from vacation. See you are fresh.
What vacation?
Book vacation.
Oh my God! So they say that loneliness what kills are.
The World Health Organization on Monday said that not fewer than 81,000 people die worldwide annually from loneliness. According to World Health Organization Commission, 1 in 6 people worldwide is affected by loneliness, which, along with social isolation, can lead to physical illness. It said that loneliness increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, diabetes, depression, anxiety, and eventual suicide. The World Health Organization said that lonely teenagers are 22% more likely to achieve lower grade than their peers.
Lower grade. My God, hope my result. Hope my result is not going to be affected.
You didn't tell me you need company now. You're going to employ me.
My result is not.
While lonely adults face greater challenge in finding or keeping a job, the impact is not only individual but also societal. With millions in cost to healthcare system and losses to enjoyment. Honestly, loneliness is not good. This is what I want to tell people. In case they said an idle hand.
It's the devil's workshop, yeah.
So the moment you are lonely, a whole lot
you'll be thinking a lot of things,
bad
thoughts will be coming and everything like that. But if sometimes too, if you are with someone, a lot of bad talks too.
Well, it depends on who you are with too. I don't know what you're talking about, but it depends on who you are with. If you are with the right kind of people,
that's what I want us to come from.
Yes.
Always be with the right kind of people.
There's sometimes you'll be in group. In group of people and you still be lonely. Have you ever been in a crowd and you are
definitely
lonely?
Because what they are doing it doesn't resonate with you.
Yeah, so at that time definitely you are lonely at that time. So people should not find themselves being lonely. When you realize that you are too
That's
much
why most of the time when people look at me and say that I'm just always playing and something like that, it's just my way of taking myself from there's some that I think they've said this times we don't know about that. When you segregate yourself for some things that you are too above, or you are above this thing, you are above that one, you will start aging fast or something like that.
Yes, of course. When you see.
That's why most of the time people don't even know my age. People will be thinking
when you are lonely by yourself, and you don't smile, you're just always by yourself. They say smile makes your face not wrinkle. Enter you smile and talk every time. It express your face. It makes you look younger every time. But when you are lonely, you are sad. You are always this. A whole lot of things wrong in your hand, and you begin to age fast. So that's why we always find people. That's why you find some people sometimes in enjoyment, bar house, club house, because they find themselves always lonely inside, and that's the only best way to make themselves happy.
This now comes to the aspect of being introverted and extrovert.
So now the introverts now, see, there are some introverts that they are introverts when they are outside, but when they are inside, they are people that they play with and make them.
I can actually, I think there is a name for it too, something. I can't remember the name.
Which one?
Apart from the introvert, the extrovert, there is another one.
There are many of
There's
them.
Another one. Someone that can be can decide to be introvert
And
when people are
extrovert
not
same
with him,
time.
and
Yeah.
also decide to be an extrovert when people are with him. I'm that kind of person. If I want to be alone for a month and you won't even know,
That you
people
are
around me
inside.
or people in my compound or people in my neighbors won't even
Now
know.
let me.
I can actually
Can we
be
tag
or
that
something like-
loneliness?
Mm.
Now I think they're not talking about loneliness with people. Now they're talking about loneliness. Now a child can be lonely when his parents are not always around. His child can be lonely even when the parent is around. You know, when your parents are around, they don't have your time. The parent is always always busy.
Always busy, yeah.
Maybe they are fighting, arguing. You don't have time for him, and they are even around, but it's still lonely with your parent because you don't communicate and reach out to him.
That's why it is better when you give birth. Always try to have this cordial, mutual relationship with your child from when they are young, because that will go to the
Whatever relationship you build your child when he's young is what the child can really grow
to become. Yeah, because if you don't build that
You
relationship,
don't
it's
build
going to
bond and relationship
affect.
with your child.
It's going to affect the relationship even when they
even
grow
the
or
child
something
relationship
like
with outsiders. Have you ever seen the child when
relating
outside?
more to outsiders
Outsiders than
than
relating with their
that's
folks.
That's it.
And some child where they are at home,
A lot of us are passing through that kind of thing. The relationship
you
with
prefer
their
to relate with outsiders than relate with
the
your
relation
folks at home.
that's it.
It's because
No.
when they were young, you don't build.
They don't have that
bond with their
that
folks.
cordial or mutual relationship with their parent, and it affects
definitely gonna affect
them, and you know. So always be that relationship with your
Loneliness is
children.
just a very bad thing. Loneliness is a very bad thing. In fact, even if husband can be lonely when they are married. There are some married couple they are lonely, and that's because they don't even have conversation.
They don't create that conversational
You can imagine when you get home and your wife is always on the phone and everything, your husband on the phone, wife's on the phone, you don't have any time to communicate. That can cause loneliness with them, because how long can you stay with your phone? At the point, that
even some people we are even taking it too high, because we are talking about husband, and some people you can't even relate with people in your workplace or people at your. How do you now want to relate in your relationship or something like that? Always try to relate with people. That's something I know myself.
I understand.
No matter who you are, I will always relate.
I understand
with
people are not to be trusted, but at a point in your life, everybody needs somebody. Everybody
even if you are relating with people, doesn't mean that you should be sharing your secret or something like that. Just relate with people because you are in their circle. You are in their circle at that moment. When you leave their circle, you can be your
introvert self. When you're outside, you can be your extrovert self. It helps life. It makes you, it saves you from loneliness. It saves you from anxiety. It saves you from depression that can lead to suicide. And because suicide is very real, brother. It's very real.
Okay, let's quickly go to the next story that we have here. This next story that we have is our home mama, the Senator Natasha. The court grants Natasha bail on self-recognizance.
See this, Natasha.
Let me quickly get to the story before we talk about anything, because I don't want us to.
And they boil. They do me one kind.
So the Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday granted the suspended senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Akpoti, bail on self-recognizance. Akpoti was arraigned on a 6-count charge bordering on alleged cybercrime. Are you serious? Cybercrime?
I said the case are they boil. They've added a whole lot of crime, allegation, fraud. They don't add. Next in Nigeria, now we do.
Okay, let me continue. The senator allegedly made false and damaging statement against Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Kogi State former Governor Yahaya Bello. According to the charge, Akpoti was alleged to